Okay, welcome to the program. Good morning to all of you. I'm your host, Cito Beltran, here on the program agenda. Thank you for being subscribers of Cignal TV and viewers of One News PH on channels 8 and 250. Maraming salamat po. Malaking bagay po na kayo ay nanunood, nakasama namin sa umaga dahil alam ko naman pong madaling maging abala. Ako po ay nakapagwalis na, nakapaghugas na, nagbibilad na lang ng bigas para makapagsaing. Okay? I'm serious, okay? We are the modern couple, me and my wife Karen, who is from Holland, from the Netherlands, and we run our house by ourselves. May mga nagbabantay pag kami lumalabas, pero by and large, we do everything. So it's a division of labor happily done by both of us. So I know many of you will probably be doing stuff today. So please just listen in. And mahalaga po, today our first guest, hopefully we can hook her up because napaka-busy po nitong doktora na ito. She is so busy. She is the spokesperson of the DOH, none other than Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergeire. And we have invited her, we have asked for her time this morning because may mga nagkakalat na naman po ng fake news, meron namang mga nagmamarunong at meron din nag-aakalang kami sa media ay alam namin lahat, hindi po. So let's go to the authority later. Let's find out exactly what is truth and what is false or true or false. Kasi may mga nagsasabi kung ano-ano, baka mamaya mamali kayo, makahawa kayo or manghawa po kayo. Okay? So today, ano bang petsa ngayon? Today is January 18, 2022. Okay? Half of the month is gone. Okay? So in a few weeks, the first month of 12 is gone. There is no turning back. So please, whatever you do, don't waste your time. Don't waste your days. Be productive. And kung kaya mag-multitask, mag-multitask. It's a Tuesday. Let's start the day with our daily starter. When prayer becomes your habit, miracles become your lifestyle. Okay, yan po ang ating daily starter today. When prayer becomes your habit, kung nagiging ugali mo na, kaugalian nyo na yung nagdadasal sa umaga, sa gabi, sa tanghali, miracles become your lifestyle. Sabi nga ng iba, miracle. Sa amin, hindi po miracle. Sa amin, answered prayer kasi God is still in the business of answering prayers. And as I was mentioning to my wife when I shared today's daily starter, I said, we both know that in our life, we have been fortunate enough to see so many miracles, both personal and in the lives of others, particularly yung mga kumbaga hopeless case na nabuhay pa. We were praying for a young girl who lost her sight. And after 24 hours of a prayer vigil, she regained her sight. I have seen people suddenly find answer prayers. Pati na yung anak namin na na-COVID sa Holland. Wala kaming ginawa kundi dasalan yung batang yun. At ayun po, every turn, God is there taking care of her needs or relieving her of a situation. Okay, so yun po, no? If prayers is your habit, miracles become your way of life. Now, let's now go to the front page of the Philippine Star. Medyo puno ng balita. Unahin natin ang headline. The headline of the front page of today's Philippine Star, COMELEC junks petition to cancel Marcos certificate of candidacy. The second division of the Commission on Election passed a 32-page resolution deciding in favor of the candidate Ferdinand Marcos Jr. So ayun po. So yan na yung, if I'm not mistaken, the second petition against Ferdinand Marcos Jr. that has been junked by the COMELEC. However, Theodore Ter, representing the petitioners, has said that they will file for a memorandum, motion for reconsideration in the COMELEC and Bank. Kumbaga hindi yung tatlo laang, sama-sama na silang magdesisyon kung dapat nga ba o hindi. Okay. The huge picture that you see there on the front page of the Philippine Star, hindi po yan tinda sa Divisoria, yan po ay nagtambakang gamit at tao. Unvaccinated travelers gather in front of the North Port Ship and Ferry Passenger Terminal in Manila after they were denied entry during the first day of the no vaccine, no ride policy yesterday. This has become such a common sight that you would think that the city of Manila and the PPA and the officials of the North Port would at least have some consideration at magpalagay man lang ng shade or mga tents. Kahit na, alam nyo po, maglagay lang ng mga poste doon at saka shade net, makakatulong na. If you analyze the photo here, this is regrettable because from the looks of it, and I'm not being discriminatory, I am not being elitist or judgmental. Pero pag tiningnan po nyo yung bihis nila, ito po yung mga attire ng karamihan ng mga badyaw, ng mga ika nga transient tribes or families from Mindanao who go to Metro Manila to sell their wares during the holidays, at yung iba naman po ay nag-house to house, nangangaroling, etc. Klaseng sila yung natrap kasi nagkaipitan na naman sa Metro Manila. There is now there is now the the lockdown, or hindi naman lockdown, kumbaga no vax, no travel policy. So ayun po, sila na naman ang natrap doon. Usually it is people who are traveling and who are caught suddenly from sudden announcements of government, particularly the IATF and DOTR. Parang awa nyo na, magbago na kayo ng ugali. Laging nauunang inyong gawa ay yung inyong bibig sa gawa. Nauna ang ngawa sa gawa. Yan po. They make a pronouncement, but these are people who fall through the cracks and suffer. Anyway, at the top of the Philippine Star, penalties set today on no vax, no ride violators. Okay, kumbaga, hindi na raw po testing laang, hindi na raw po warning, meron ng multa na ipapataw. There will be penalties, fines, etc. set on people who are not vaccinated and who try to drive in Metro Manila. Okay, so nagsalita po yung Public Attorney's Office. Si Attorney Presida ay sabi ni Ma'am Presida, it is unconstitutional. There is no basis of law. You are violating the right of a citizen to travel. Totoo naman, right to travel na yan. Sabi naman ni Presidente, for the greater good, okay? It is for the government has the duty to protect the greater number for the greater good. Ang issue po dito, hindi greater number, greater good. Ang issue po dito ay stupidity of concept and application. Anyway, sorry, hindi ko mapigil kasi medyo sinusuportahan natin yung polisiya ng gobyerno, pero ilagay sa lugar. Wag yung meron ng one dose, one vaccination, pinara pa. Okay, kasalanan ba nila yun? COVID-19 tally of Philippine cases, 37,070 as of yesterday. Okay? So, ito po, ayan, number of total cases, 37,000. Active, kahapon laang yan lumabas. Okay? So, ang total number na nearly 300,000. Yung official, 290,938 ang may COVID. Pero sabi nga nung isa, try 2 million. Okay. Anyway, number of deaths, 23. 23, lowest number na yata yan, which is good, but apparently based on the study of the Philippine Statistics Authority, COVID-19, and there's the news below that photo of the front page, COVID now is the Philippines' third leading cause of death. Okay? Third, ikatlong pinakamataas na dahilan ng pagkamatay. Center of the front page is a photo of the SAF, Special Action Force of the PNP. Three inmates that escaped from Bilibid. Dalawa sa kanila sumakabilang buhay na kahapon. Isa hinahanap pa. Siguro, ayan, malalaman natin within the day or within the week what happens to the third escapee. But there you go, 3 inmates, both Bilibid, 2 killed, and the suspected accused drug lord, Kerwin Espinosa, was was planning to escape from the NBI detention center through an exhaust vent, nabisto po ng NBI last week. So kahapon lang nila nilabas yung balita na yan. Maswerte na lang si Espinosa, hindi siya pinutukan katulad ng mga tumakas sa Bilibid. Okay, Pag-asa meantime says, there will be cold days ahead of Metro Manila. Nasa 19 pa rin po, 19 degrees. 19.5 degrees yesterday, and this morning was, I believe, close to that as well, and we can expect colder days. The problem is, masarap nga ang panahon, mas malamig, mas marami namang nagkakasakit, and ang hirap bumangon. It is so hard to get out of a very warm bed. Okay, excuse me. And in the bottom of the front page, financial cyber attacks surged by 2,324%. Hindi po incidents, percentage po. Kumbaga, hindi lang nagdoble, triple, nag-times 2,324%. Yan na po yung mga dali ng mga phishing, mga SIM card swap, mga fraud, bank frauds, etc. And meanwhile, Okta Research says new COVID cases in NCR now on downtrend. Kumbaga, wala nang mahanap na mahawa itong si COVID, and many of the Metro Manila residents have decided to really just stay indoors. Kahapon po, medyo na-observan sa mga mall na kakaunti na lang ang mga taong lumalabas. Okay, and last but not the least, the the Department of Education has stated that they are standing firm on its decision not to enforce a nationwide academic break or suspension of classes amid the Omicron-driven surge in COVID-19 cases. Okay, Usec, Diosdado, San Antonio, Education Undersecretary for Curriculum and Instruction, said the policy was made with the agreement of DepEd regional directors, and the decision was kanya-kanya muna because the situation all over the country is not uniform. May mga lugar naman daw po where the outbreak of COVID is minimal. There are areas that there is no high cases of COVID kasi island setting, etc. And they believe that they should individually be able to separately make decisions on who should have a break and not. Kasi marami po, alam niyo po, hid in Lipa last year from March to almost December. We stayed in Lipa City. Now we are in Manila again, and we stayed in Lipa City because we just felt it was going to be safer, healthier. And true to form, mas madali po ang buhay sa probinsya because malawak ang gagalawan ninyo. Neighbors are not so close together, and there are so many stores spread out, etc. So parang America. Sa America, when I lived there, I remember you had to have a car. Kasi kung hindi, siguraduhin mo magaling ka magbisikleta o masipag kang maglakad kasi sa layo at lawak ng mga pupuntahan. Okay? Medyo dito po sa Metro Manila, umubo ka, dinig sa kabilang bakod. Okay? So, yun po. Anyway, I don't know if we have Usec Vergeire. Okay, Usec Vergeire, sorry, Usec, yun na po, hindi kasi nakita, liit ng font ni Beltran. Let's bring in Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergeire for clarification and factual information. Okay, Usec Vergeire, good morning, ma'am.
Magandang umaga po, sir. Good morning po sa inyong lahat.
Okay, smile naman tayo. Bagay sa yung suot mong kulay. I love making
Salamat
you
po.
smile. Dr. Vergeire, wag na Yusek, doktor na, no? Kasi I wanted to be clear that you are not just a spokesperson, you are a doctor. And I understand yesterday, medyo kinaputok ng butsin ng mga tiga DOH yung lumabas na namang fake news about Omicron na ano ba yun? 25 seconds lang daw, mahahawa ka na. Ma'am, pwede ba kayo nang mag-clarify nitong fake news na ito at ano ba dapat malaman ng tao?
Yes, sir, 'no. So, kahapon po lumabas yung sinasabi natin na parang media card na sinasabi that Omicron, highly transmissible. May mga segundo na sinasabi na kung paano ka mahahawa, gaano kabilis. Sinabi rin diyan na kapagka tinamaan ka, maaaring maging severe or fatal. Sinabi rin na kailangan lagi ka na mag-mask kahit sa bahay, 'no. So, atin
Mhm.
pong pinabulaanan lahat ito. Unang-una, kailangan maintindihan ng ating mga kababayan, all the evidence right now is evolving. Wala pa hong completed evidence as to the characteristics of Omicron. But one thing that we can tell you,
Mhm.
unang-una, it is milder than the Delta variant when we compare to Delta variant. But of course, if there are a lot of people getting sick because of Omicron, ma-overwhelm din ang ating healthcare system. Pag
Mhm.
tinamaan din po yung mga hindi bakunado, o kaya yung mga vulnerable, maaring maospital pa rin po sila. Pangalawa po, yung sinasabing fatal and severe, wag ho kayong maniwala dahil po nakikita naman ho natin sa atin po mga datos ngayon, hindi po siya mas fatal, hindi po siya mas severe kumpara sa Delta situation natin noon. Mas mild po siya, pero kailangan siyempre mag-iingat pa rin po tayo. One of the implications of this kind of information na false,
Mhm.
nagkakaroon po ng panic ang mga tao. Natatakot po sila with this kind of information na binibigay when in fact it's not even based on evidence. So kaya po natin pinabulaanan ito.
Okay, Yusek Vergeire, points of clarification lang po, no, para doon sa mga tanong-tanong ba sa kanto. Ano nangyari kay Delta? Kasi parang lahat ng pinag-uusapan na lang Omicron, may mga nagsasabi sa akin, Kuya, itanong mo nga yun, no, kasi baka mamaya akala ng tao wala ng Delta. Pag-gala-gala, sasabihin, kasi may mga nagsasabi, there are people who are saying, oh, it's fine, if you get Omicron, it's also like a natural vaccine. Sabi ko, yeah, go ahead. You're welcome to try. I already went through it. I don't want it.
Yes, sir. Isa po 'yan sa parang kailangan nating baguhin na pag-iisip ng mga tao ngayon. Kasi sinasabi nila, mild lang 'yan, okay lang magkaroon na ako. Mild lang 'yan, magkaroon na sana ako para
Mm.
magkaroon ako ng natural immunity. Hindi po gano'n, 'no? Kasi ngayon po, hindi po nawawala pa ang Delta variant dito sa ating bansa. Meron pa nga rin pong Beta variant na nade-detect sa ating whole genome sequencing. So it doesn't mean that because Omicron is now predominant, ay wala na po yung ibang variants of concern. Maari pa rin po kayong tamaan ng Delta kung sakaling may Delta variant yung nakapanghawa sa inyo. And this Delta variant can cause a more severe disease compared to Omicron. So kailangan lagi na lang tayo mag-iingat, hindi po natin malalaman kung anong klaseng variant ang tatama sa atin. Ang pinakaimportante, nag-ingat po tayo at nagpabakuna po tayo.
Is it possible to get yung tinatawag nga natin yung sa TV, double jeopardy? Meaning, meron ka ng Omicron, tamaan ka pa ng Delta? Kasi, it's a question that was asked me. And sabi ko, sorry, I'm not a epidemiologist. Go find an epidemiologist.
Well, there has been these reports, no, mga recent weeks po, yung tinatawag nila na Delmicron. And according naman po dun sa mga lumalabas na latest evidences, mukhang nagkaroon ng kontaminasyon dun sa laboratory. That's why they
Mhm.
were able to detect this kind of double, no, na variant in one person. So
Mhm.
patuloy pa ho ang pag-aaral na yan, pero base po sa aking pagkakaalam, dahil ako naman po ay doktor,
Mhm.
pag tinamaan ka ng COVID, yun pong variant na meron kayo ay iisa lang, 'no? So yun pong kung ano yung ma-detect sa inyo, halimbawa it is Omicron, it's Omicron, if it's Delta, it's Delta. Hindi pa ho tayo nakakakita ng ebidensya talaga na puwedeng mangyari ito na sabay sa isang tao.
Or what about yung meron ka ng Omicron, mahahawahan ka pa ba ng Delta, or is it true what some people believe that if you have one form variant of COVID, you have a immunity good for like 8 weeks. Yung sabi, naku, bulletproof ka, Beltran, 8 weeks, kahit magdala ka dyan, hindi ka tatamaan.
I think this is something that we need to clarify, no? It's going to be different for different persons. Hindi
Mhm.
po lahat tayo pare-pareho ang ating immunity. Yung ibang tao maaring mag-develop nitong natural immunity for how many weeks, yung ibang tao naman mas maikli. So let us not be reliant na meron tayong antibodies at meron tayong immunity ng 8 linggo at tayo po ay magiging complacent. Kailangan tayo pa rin po ay maging mas maingat dahil alam po natin na maaari pa rin naman tayong mahawa kahit nagkaroon na tayo ng Omicron. Mahahawa pa rin tayo, maaari pa rin tayong maimpeksyon.
Okay, now, speaking of infections, kasi ako naman, nasampulan na ako ng Omicron, medyo, I honestly had second thoughts whether I should be tested or not. What is the official rule or guidance of the DOH? Ano po ba dapat? Kasi meron akong natawagan kahapon sa probinsya. Sabi ko, kamusta na kayo dyan? Sabi, ito, may ubo kami, may sipon, mukhang natrangkaso kami. Sabi ko, teka, yan din ang sinabi ko, magpa-test na kayo. Now, how do you settle that issue? Kasi may marami naniniwala, trangkaso lang. Meron naman, at saka, nung nagpa-test, negative. Pero meron naman na nagpa-test, akala nila sipon lang, positive na pala sila.
Yes sir 'no. So unang-una gusto ko ho balikan natin yung objective mismo ng testing. Bakit po ba tayo nagte-test? During the early phases of the pandemic, the reason why we were testing, because we wanted to determine who among the population are sick or who are confirmed with positive results so that we can isolate them from the general public. Ngayon
Mhm.
po, sa taas ng transmission, sa taas ng infection rate, specifically here in NCR, yun pong testing has to be shifted, no? Na kailangan ginagawa mo na lang yan to manage clinically. Because hindi mo na sasabihin na gusto ko malaman kung sino ang may sakit o wala. Samantalang 50% of the population already are having positive results.
Mhm.
So with that, nagkaroon po tayo ng shift ng polisiya. Actually, yung existing policy natin na lahat ng symptomatic, sinetest pa rin naman po natin sila. Pero ngayon, we are geared towards prioritizing the vulnerable, yung matatanda, yun pong may mga sakit, at saka yun pong ating mga healthcare workers, and of course, the symptomatics. Pero dun sa mga walang simptomas po, pero alam nila na expose sila, what we are doing right now is just to monitor them because we know that we are getting overwhelmed also with our laboratory, so we need to prioritize.
Mhm. Okay, now, so, okay, kami, for safety reasons and for social responsibility, nagpa-test kami. Now, so kung medyo sinisipon ka lang, inuubo, baka may COVID, baka wala, de magkulong na lang sa bahay.
That's the most important intervention right now, sir. It's
Mhm.
isolation so that we can prevent further transmission of this disease. Marami po sa ating mga kababayan hindi maka-access ng laboratories and they wait before they get tested, before they isolate. They wait before the results come out, before they isolate. Hindi po tama. As soon as you develop your symptoms, as soon as na may simptomas na po kayo, isolate yourself, ihiwalay niyo po yung sarili niyo sa pamilya niyo para maputol po natin ang transmission, whether you have the test results or not.
Mhm. Papaano ma'am yung ano ko, yung pastor ko, yung bishop namin, sabi ko, "Kamusta na bishop?" Sabi niya, "Okey naman ako, family mo lahat may tama." Papaano yun? I've been hearing this quite often that one member of the family stands out. They're all vaccinated, they all got Omicron, but one family member parang bulletproof. Why is that and what should be the rule for that?
Well, unang-una katulad ng sabi ko, iba-iba po tayo 'no, bawat tao
Mhm,
iba-iba ang ating immunity. There would be some who would be most vulnerable, to this, illness. Meron namang iba ang lakas ng immunity plus of course vaccinated, talagang hindi nila nakukuha. So it would
mhm.
be different, but the rule will be, katulad nun 'no, iisa na lang siya, lahat may sakit, maari na po tayo 'no, na magkaroon ng home bubble kung saan naka-quarantine siya, naka-isolate yung mga taong kasama niya. Ngayon kung hindi po compliant 'no or hindi po conducive dahil walang mga sari-sariling kwarto, lahat ng kasama mo positive, it would be better that you go out and have a quarantine facility for yourself or
Mm.
your members could have isolation facilities for them para hindi ka na rin mahawa.
Okay, so bibilisan ko na lang Yusek at alam ko busy-busy ka. Papaano yung mga, okey na-test ka Monday tapos, by Sunday puwede ka libre ka na the following week? Kasi naguguluhan ng tao, ano ba yung sinasabi ng DOH na rule regarding when is the isolation finished or when are you considered non-infectious?
Yes sir 'no. So, unang-una tayo po ay nag-shift ng policy. So sabi natin for the general public and healthcare workers and the other sectors, iiklian natin. So kapag ikaw ay nagkasakit, ang isolation mo dati po kapag 'pag fully vaccinated ka, yun pong 7 days na lang po ang ating i-isolate. Maari pong ibaba pa sa 5 araw kung kayo po ay healthcare workers, but it depends on the assessment of your infection prevention and control committee. So kung
Mhm, mm.
halimbawa po nagkasakit po kayo ng Lunes, bibilang po tayo ngayon ng 7 araw at pagkatapos ng 7 araw tsaka po kayo na pwede lumabas if you are fully vaccinated. Now let me remind people 'no, kailangan po lagi po tayong naka-mask, kailangan inoobserbahan pa rin po natin ang ating sarili at mag-comply sa minimum public health standards kahit po nakalabas na kayo from isolation. Now if you are not vaccinated and you are just partially vaccinated, ibig sabihin isa lang po ang dose na nakuha nyo, kailangan pa rin po 10 araw na kukumpletuhin po natin from the date na nag-start ang symptoms nyo. Now for quarantine period naman po, yung dati po na asymptomatic close contacts, ibig sabihin wala tayong simptomas, tapos
Mm.
na-expose po tayo, para po sa general public, maari na lang pong 5 araw na lang po yan. Ano? It's a uniform implementation. Mag-oobserba na lang po kayo kapag kayo ay pinalabas na ng inyong pagka-quarantine. And for healthcare workers, maaring ibaba natin sa 0 days, but still depends on the infection prevention and control committee of your facilities.
May nag-text sa'kin kagabi at sinasabi, "Kuya hindi pa ako pinalalabas kasi, may sipon pa raw ako at may ubo pero kumpleto ko na yung, period required for isolation." Ano po ba yun? Bakit po yun?
Ang kondisyon po natin sir, kapag kayo ay sasabihin na makakalabas na ng isolation, kailangan nag-improve na yung respiratory symptoms mo. And what would be most important would be fever. Wala kang lagnat within the 24 hours prior to your discharge. So that
Mhm,
is what is acceptable. Ngayon, kailangan maintindihan ng local governments, no? Yung ubo po, hindi ho yan basta-basta minsan natatanggal. Minsan nga yung ubo natin 'pag inubo tayo kahit 2 linggo na meron pang pakonti-konti 'no. So
mhm.
hindi po natin puwede na i-confine yung mga tao at i-delay ang kanilang release because meron pang ubot sipon. 'Pag nakita natin na may improvement na rin naman po dun sa kanilang simptomas ta's wala ng lagnat ng 24 hours, we can be able to discharge them already. But of course, it will all depend on the assessment of the health officials in the local government.
Okay, last two questions, Madam Undersecretary. Yung pong highly critical, kasi nahihilo na kami. Sasabihin, highly critical. Pero hindi, huwag kayong mag-alala kasi mahina, mababa naman yung ating utilization sa healthcare. Ano po ba talaga, ate? Kasi nahihilo na kami. Are we in a bad situation or is everything manageable?
Well, we need to understand, no, ang ating pong mga metrics na ginagamit so that we can be able to assess the situation in our country would be the case classification, ibig sabihin yung trends po ng mga kaso, at saka yung paggamit natin ng healthcare system o mga ospital po natin. That is very important kasi kahit na pataas ng pataas ang kaso natin, kung ang ating mga ospital naman po ay hindi napupuno, ibig sabihin kakaunti lang ang severe and critical, it means that we can manage the situation. And that is what is most important. So
Mhm.
ngayon po, critical po talaga ang ating bansa, even in NCR, dahil critical ang case classification. Ibig sabihin, ang daming kaso. But if you look at the cases, most are mild and asymptomatic. Yung severe and critical, kakaunti, at sila po ang nakakapag-occupy ng ating mga ospital, at ang mga ospital naman po natin ay hindi pa pumapalo dun sa threshold na sinasabi natin critical na rin tayo. That's why we have a critical case classification in the nationally and in NCR in other areas, but their healthcare utilization is only at moderate risk. Pag pumalo po ng high risk, ibig sabihin ang occupancy ng ospital nag 70% na po and up. And that would be a critical risk na po para po sa mga areas na magkakaroon ng ganyan.
Okay, last question, Usec Vergeire, yung pong sa masks. Kasi my wife just put all of our cloth masks in a box and tinago na. Sabi, puro na tayo medical mask kasi yung cloth mask, nadali pa rin tayo. What is the recommendation of the DOH regarding masks for people going outside? Kasi nakamask kami, nag-double mask pa nga kami. Kaya lang, gamit namin cloth mask, tinamaan pa rin kami.
Yes sir 'no. So, unang-una pareho pa rin ang ating rekomendasyon, in terms of masking. Kailangan lang po talaga yung cloth mask kasi may mga pag-aaral po 'yan ano. When you wear your cloth mask, it provides about 20 to 30% protection. But if you wear surgical mask, it will give you up to about 70 to 80% protection. Now, compared to the N95 mask, ito po ang pinakamataas na proteksyon na maaring ibigay. Sa ngayon pong mataas ang transmission sa ating mga komunidad, we recommend that we use surgical mask. Do not use N95 mask. Let's reserve this to our healthcare workers dahil dadating na naman tayo sa punto na magkakakulangan and we like to reserve our PPEs for our healthcare workers. So surgical mask is enough. If you want to double your mask, maari po yan. If you want, you wear your surgical mask and put a cloth mask on top of that. That is okay also because inaayos po niya yung fit no nung ating surgical mask kung tayo ay naka-cloth mask on top. So that is our recommendation currently, especially now that we have high transmission in our communities.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Undersecretary Rosario Vergeire, for your time. Please take care. You're doing such a great job and just keep it together. Huwag kayong may irita. Kayo na lang yung ika nga matuwid yung pag-i-informa sa publiko. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Maraming salamat po, sir.
Okay, that's Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergeire of the Department of Health. We will go for a break, and when we return, I'm going to invite a young lady, very special because sa kanyang pagnanais makatulong sa kapwa, may maganda siyang nagawa. Okay, we'll be right back here on Agenda. welcome back to the program agenda. I'm your host, Cito Beltran. Thanking you for joining us this morning. Thank you also to PLDT for their fantastic home fiber optic internet. Lagi pong nakaka-deliver ng maayos. Now, this part of the program, we are going to feature a young lady. Ewan ko kung parang lady pa, hindi pa woman eh. Bata pa eh. Okay. Anyway, she graduated from college and then joined a company as marketing associate for a leading food chains in the country. And after a couple of years, decided to resign and find herself. Find the meaning of life. Kwento ng buhay ng napakaraming tao. I need to know my meaning. Okay, sabi nga ni Jason Lo kahapon, if you want to get your direction and find your meaning. So, in finding her meaning, she found her meaning sa isang katulong na humahagulgol doon sa tabi at yung pala ay inaalala yung kanyang anak. Anyway, she is the innovation officer, chief innovation officer of Mori Creations. Let's bring in Mitzi Uy Chan. Good morning, Mitzi.
Good morning po, Sir Chito.
Okay, Mitzi, good morning. I will just give you all the time now to talk to us about the beginning and the current state of Mori Creations. Kasi nung sinabi sa akin ng kaibigan natin si Jerome Brian Tang itong Mori Creation, akala ko yung mga ano ba, yung mga anime, mga Korean, mga Japanese products. Sabi ko, ano ba yan eh? At tanda-tanda ko na, bibigyan mo pa ako ng ganyang subject. But apparently, it is like a social entrepreneur business. So please explain this to us, Mitzi.
So yung Mori Notes po is a social enterprise na gumagawa ng mga journals, organizers, and bags. And we employ po yung mga nanay sa community, primarily sa Quezon City and San Mateo Rizal po, to create these items. So, paano po nag-start yung Mori Notes? Well, as you mentioned po earlier, nung nag-work po ako sa corporate world, nag-undergo po ako ng quarter life crisis. So, I was lost. And then, na-realize ko, maybe yung best way to know about yung direction in life ko po is to know my creator, si God who created me po. So, every day po, I would read my Bible, one chapter a day, and then I would write in my journal. And then, soon, I started to create journals po for myself. And then sabi ng friend ko, why not make a business out of it? And so that's how Mori Notes came about. Mori po means God is my teacher. So just as how He has led me here, I hope na through this business, I can also help other people live out yung talents nila and yung passions nila to bless other people. Kasi na-realize ko through my soul-searching journey na part of our purpose in life is to really use our gifts and our skills to bless other people and make the most out of them talaga. And that's why then na I wanted to help other people to be productive as well through this business. So yun po yung history ng Mori Notes.
Okay, so it's good to see, ladies and gentlemen, if you notice, the first images that we presented in connection with Mori Notes are images na hindi sila filtered. Hindi po sila manicured, hindi sila Photoshop. Pictures of regular women, mothers who are living in the poorer areas in Metro Manila, in San Mateo, and then only in the latter part, siguro for marketing and promotions, medyo parang model na yung mga picture, mga images. Ano? So these are the two extremes of Mori. You have beautiful products, you have well-designed products, but at the same time, made by real people with real struggles. Now, you said it's a social enterprise. How are you able to bless these people, Mitzi?
So we provide them po home-based or community-based na livelihood. And so we train them and upskill them to create
Mhm.
these beautiful products po. And we market these products locally as well as in other countries po. And um, so that they will have yung sustainable livelihood po talaga.
Okay,
So
now
like ito po,
yeah, go ahead.
like si Ate Rem po, for example, before Mori Notes, she was just making rags po and she was earning mga 50 pesos per day po to make rags. And with Mori Notes po, she can earn at least 500 per day. So, ganun po.
Ito ba mga piecemeal contractors para sa Mori?
We offer them po yung per piece rate, pero we compute the per piece rate on the living wage po or the minimum
Mhm.
wage po.
Oh, kita mo alam ko yung ginagawa ninyo kasi ginawa rin na ng nanay ko, and my wife used to be the quality control of an export company here. So alam na alam natin yan. Okay. But anyway, Mitzi, hindi lang sa Pilipinas, as you said, Mori notes are sold in other countries. And I understand your first step abroad was in Singapore, where you hooked up with another woman by the name of, ano ba pangalan nung,
Si Rachel po.
yun, Rachel. Pakikwento nga yun, paano na from San Mateo, Rizal, umabot na ng Singapore yung mga ginagawa nyo?
So, in 2015 po, ni-email ako ni Rachel kasi na-discover niya yung Mori Notes through one article po. And si Rachel po kasi nagsasell, may online selling platform po siya na nagsasell ng iba-ibang products from different social enterprises. But after a couple of years later, she decided to just focus po on Mori Notes and establish Mori in Singapore po. So that's how it came to be po.
Okay, now, how do you figure out sino yung tutulungan ng Mori? And ano naman and what is the reception of Mori Notes products locally? Kasi kung meron dapat sumuporta dyan sa mga Mori Notes na yan, are Filipinos. So, okay, first question is, how do you determine who to support?
So I initially worked with a livelihood arm in Quezon City called Sikap Buhay po. So they help us connect with yung mga nanay po na nangangailangan po ng trabaho. And then yung may konting skills na pwede namin i-upgrade po through this our livelihood program. So we tap these different women with the help of the government po, like DTI and Sikap Buhay. And then the second question is how are our products locally parang
Received
appreciated
or
and accepted?
supported? Yeah, appreciated,
Received.
yes.
So um, thank God po na we are able to enter a lot of the major retail channels po locally, such as Rustans, National Bookstore, and also mga corporate accounts po. And they're very appreciative of the masterpieces na ginawa ng mga nanay po. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay, medyo social yung isang picture kanina, Changi Airport. Hindi, I mean, that's not ordinary showcase there. Gift by Changi Airport. Nandiyo dyan yung Mori products ninyo.
Opo. Yes, sir. So, I'm glad po na hindi lang po yung local ang maganda ang reception sa products natin, pati po sa ibang country like in Singapore po, na even in their high-end stores po, like the
Mhm.
Changi Airport Gift Shop na na-receive din po nila ng mabuti yung mga designs and items natin at
Okay, now
tumatangkilik po sila.
you're doing a great job. You are blessed by the Lord. Now the question is, what's ahead? What's in the future? Because ano bang course kinuha mo sa college? Kasi parang feeling ko malayo yung marketing sa production and design.
So, yung course ko po in college, psychology po, tsaka advertising.
Okay, advertising maybe, pero psychology. Okay, so nagagamit mo ba yan dyan sa ginagawa mong design?
Um, I think naka-help po siya sa akin sa pamamagitan ng I'm able to work with different types of people, with different
Mm,
personalities.
okay.
Opo. And then, after po ako nag-graduate ng college, during my soul-searching years, nag-aral din po ako ng Masters in Entrepreneurship po.
Okay. And so what's ahead for Mori Notes and your designs? Is this going to be your main focus for the next 5 years, or are you already developing a new undertaking? Kasi yan naman ang pathway of the entrepreneur, di ba? May establish na isang brand. When the brand stands on its own legs, the originator or the chief operating officer, which is you, start thinking of what's my new passion.
So currently po, yung passion ko remains the same, which is to empower women to be productive and to be able to use their gifts at home. So ngayon po, we want to dig deeper po sa ganitong direction and enable even our market or end users to have this opportunity. Hindi lang po yung mga crafters, artists, and sales advocates that we work with to create products, but we want yung pinaka-bumibili ng products to be empowered as well. So that will be the future direction po of Mori Notes.
In what way do you want to do that? I mean, are you going to engage them to be investors? Are you going to create avenues for them to interact? Paano yung gagawin yan?
We will create products as well as online and offline contents po that can empower them po to create themselves.
Okay.
So we will
So
create kits and they're still in the works po eh.
I like that idea because yesterday I came across an art kit. Kumbaga para dun sa mga gustong mga frustrated illustrator, frustrated painter, yung mga parang paint by the numbers. Is that what you're thinking of? Kits that children can or am I giving you an idea? Kits
Ah,
that children can sew
yeah.
and stuff?
Actually, that's one of our, parang part of our direction din po. And last year po, during this pandemic, we're able to test market yung artist kit din po. Yung
Mhm.
mga kids and moms, they can color yung mga aprons, yung mga tote bags, and it went well din naman po. So, there are two parang reasons why we want to create like kits like that po. So isa is to empower them to create and another is to be able to bond with their families din po at home. Kasi Mori po is also a parang home-based sustainable livelihood po yung mission natin, sir eh.
Mhm.
So we want them to be there with their children and bond with their children po and guide their kids.
Okay,
Yung
now
mga na.
what about your partners or the beneficiaries of the Mori Notes program? Are you going to kasi syempre the issue now is will they remain as producers or paano kung biglang alam mo naman sa negosyo biglang may makaisip magtatayo na rin ako Ate Mitzi ng para sa sarili ko o magbebenta na rin ako. What is the position or philosophy of Mori Notes as far as your producers and beneficiaries eventually becoming your competitors?
Actually, I would like to empower them to be enterprising themselves po, sir. Kasi yung
Mhm.
goal talaga namin sa Mori is to become a platform na kung kunyari kailangan mo ng producer, we will help you produce. Kung kailangan mo ng help sa marketing, we will help you market. So parang we hope to be an all-in-one platform for different women to come and join po. And if they want to start their own business, we want to help them din po in like scaling it up.
Yeah, well, your product lines are clearly products that are of a promotional nature in one sense, or has a character of promotional items na pwedeng itawag sa'yo. Mitzi, pwede bang magpagawa sa'yo ng isang libo, or we need 500 pieces of those bags or those journals and 1,000 pieces of those masks that we want to give to our clients. Is Mori Notes and its partner producers, yung mga beneficiaries, do you have the capacity? Kasi syempre, iba yung backyard, iba yung home-based businesses, pero pag biglang nagkakaroon na ng commercial interest or support, kasi syempre, kung may susuportahan kami, suportahan ta ka. Diba? So, kaya ba ninyo?
Yes, sir. We have been producing po even thousands of unit po for corporate sales as well as for export and retail channels po because we have also tapped other organized communities po na talagang skilled na sila and organized na po sila and still in the grassroots community po. So that's how we're able to also expand po.
So clearly you are not selfish as some entrepreneurs are na parang teka, let's not job out or farm out this work kasi baka makompetensya tayo. And you seem to keep going back to grassroots and community-based. Kung biglang may malaking order kahit na papaano, hindi mo pa rin ipapasa yan to commercial producers. Dapat talagang community-based.
Yes po, mas prefer po natin to be aligned with our mission po talaga.
Mhm. How big is Mori Notes? Is it a one woman show? Is it a family business now involving your parents, or korporasyon na ba kayo with employees?
We are still quite small po, sir. Pero yung what's beautiful po with Mori Notes operating business model is we leverage operationally, meaning kunyari, yung mga marketing task, there are other women who help me do it. Kunyari sa production, there are other women who help me do it. So even if I don't have like a lot of employees under me, I collaborate and work with a lot of people po pa rin.
Mhm. What about supplies? Kasi nabanggit ko na nga yung asawa ko is teaches sewing, and she's a craftswoman, and she's into garments, etc. Eh, isang laging nagiging problema ng mga companies who are in the same line as you are is materials. You know, yung getting the
Yes.
supply, etc. And the selection. Ikaw ba batang Taytay, batang Divisoria, or saan ba nanggagaling yung materials nyo?
So currently about 70% of our materials are sourced locally and mga 30% po are imported po. Kasi totoo din naman na mahirap yung pag-source dito. Kunyari yung tela, gusto mo ganitong design, nag-produce ka, pero pag naubos na yung tela na yun, wala ka nang makukuhaan nun. Kaya nag-import po kami para tuloy-tuloy pa rin po yung pag-produce ng mga designs that we want.
Mhm. Okay, and what has been the biggest challenge for Mori Notes operationally and artistically?
Yung biggest challenge po natin during the pandemic or pre-pandemic?
Well, in your history, ano ba yung pinakamabigat na hinarap nyo?
Siguro yung mahirap po is because grassroots po yung mga communities natin. Yung pag-meet po nung quality standards na yung global quality standards po. So
Yan.
talagang naka-experience po kami ng madaming rejects. Sometimes 50% ng mga na-deliver po nila rejects po. So um, during those challenges po, lahat po kami, pati yung mga crafters po, natutunan mag-level up po talaga para ma-meet yung quality na kailangan ng mga clients namin. I think that's one of our biggest challenges po. And also during this pandemic po, medyo mahirap po mag-train kasi house to house po yung usual training namin before. Kaya
Mm.
at this time po, we are able to tap naman po yung mga organized communities na po.
Okay, kasi for those of you who are wondering what Mitzi is saying about quality control and standards, living with someone who has overseen quality control for export, yung misis ko po, pinagmamatch pati design. Dapat yung mga guhit sa tela magtutugma, and then she sees colors that I don't see. And then pati tama ba yung Mitzi, yung takbo ng tahe, di ba? The
Opo.
run of the stitch, so to speak, has to be straight. At pag may gumano ng more than so many inches, patay kang bata ka, reject. Tapos yung mga inaamag during shipment, na-experience mo na ba yun na biglang, sorry, your shipment has been denied because of mildew.
Buti wala pa naman po nun.
Okay, so really quite challenging, but what inspiration or what can you tell our young viewers and even the older viewers na who have been thinking of, I want to do what Mitzi did, I want to help people, I have this idea, pero parang, alam mo na, may nervyos, may kabag. Ikaw, bata ka pa noon. Nung bata ako, matapang ako. Ngayon, medyo ninenervyos na ako mag-isip. Go ahead, Mitzi.
So, I think during this pandemic, syempre a lot of us are just at home, di ba? And I would like to encourage everyone po na you can actually start a business even in your own house. There are a lot of resources available sa house nyo. There are a lot of network available in social media. And actually, pag-market abroad, it's limitless through our internet. Everything is at the tip of your fingertips. So if you have ideas, just go for it. If I was able to start and sustain more notes in my own home, you can too. And talagang I encourage you to use your gifts talaga, to use your God-given talents, because if you use them, God will enlarge your borders. So you need to be a good steward of the gifts you have.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Mitzi, for those words. And we do hope that the Lord will bless the work of your hands and will expand your territory and your tents. God bless you, Mitzi.
Thank you po, sir.
Okay, that's our Chief Innovation Officer for Mori Creations, Mitzi Uy Chan. Ayun po. And let me leave you with our week's blessing. From 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 8, and God is able to bless you abundantly, so that in all things at all times, having all that you need, you will abound in every good work. Okay, and that's our blessing for you this week. We hope that the Lord will continue to bless you, guide you. Pakibasa na lang po bukas yung column ko sa Philippine Star. I'm Cito Beltran, thanking you for watching Agenda. Please keep it here on One News PH.